To be or not to be? A game developer. Once upon a time, in a world of musical theatre, scripts, poster designs and stop-motion magic, my life was a delightful blend of dramatic flair and frame-by-frame animation. But one fateful morning, I shot up in bed, struck by one particular little dead guy and an outrageous idea. Make a game? Hey everyone, I'm Amber, creative director and founder of Studio Tinkerhaus, and this is the moment I embarked on a journey from stage left to Unreal Engine, in the hopes of making my first indie game, Bones Wandering Song. And I was recently fortunate enough to receive government funding to build an alpha prototype and test mechanics with a small team. So how did I get here? Who's the team? And most importantly, what's the game? Bones Wandering Soul is a 2.5D adventure puzzle platformer where you guide Bones, a small lovable misfit, on a quest to find his lost identity and home again. Along the way, he faces personal fears, navigates a quirky cityscape, and overcomes a series of challenges. It's a game that blends elements of stealth, puzzle solving, and some pretty unique mechanics like Bones' detachable limbs to tell a story about loss, self-discovery, and what it means to belong. When I first had this idea, I knew nothing about making a game. I wasn't a programmer, and the whole concept seemed like some giant pipe dream. But this little dead guy wouldn't let me go. So I spent a couple of years exploring the concept, slowly building the world, characters, and the mechanics, all whilst learning the ropes of game development. There are loads of games about skeletons, ghosts, and all things spooky. So I spent a lot of time reflecting on why I wanted to make this game and how I could make it a little bit different. I wanted to infuse whatever skills I did have from various creative backgrounds into the soul of it. I spent countless nights experimenting with textures and Substance Painter, playing with a wide range of materials to create weird concoctions for building the world, and I wanted to create a world that felt tactile and familiar, influenced by my stop-motion background, but with its own unique style. The final aesthetic is essentially a quirky blend of bones, teeth, horn, and old iron, all set against an architectural backdrop inspired by the 90s and postmodern design. Something a little bit old, yet something a little bit new. The perfect combination for Bones' journey. There were two main scenes explored initially, the first being a street scene for testing the materials out in Unreal Engine 4 with lighting and visual effects, and observing the building designs and how they work together, trying to understand how they might be used for gameplay and as platform elements. And the second, a sewer, the starting point of gameplay for Bones as he wakes up in pieces after falling out of his coffin during the process of being relocated and washed down the street into a drain. This is where I dived into some very basics around blueprints and attempted to turn my very dodgy character sculpt of Bones from the iPad into a functioning playable character. I did this using ZBrush to crunch his extreme poly count down and Mixamo for rigging. This allowed me to at least get him in the space and have him running and jumping throughout the environment to test out his scale. It was also another chance to play around with some textures, but more in an internal setting, although this needed a lot further development. I created a basic game design doc and an art book to document my process, and the project was shelved until late 2023 when an opportunity arose through Screen Australia to apply for their new Emerging Game Makers Fund. I figured if not now, when? I had absolutely nothing to lose and felt as though I had enough of a concept to support my pitch for the game with a blend of interesting aesthetics and mechanics. So, I gave it a crack and submitted my pitch deck, pitch video, a budget, and game design doc. And bugger me dead, I was one of 15 selected nationally to develop my concept further. I can't really describe what that day felt like receiving the call to tell me I had been offered a grant. It was very surreal and not something I ever envisioned in my future. But then, neither was deciding to make a game. But it was life-changing and I will forever be grateful. Having a group of strangers decide to take a chance on your little concept is a very rewarding feeling, and it gave me hope that maybe I could in fact pull off this crazy idea. So with this grant, I've spent the last 4 months working on the development of an alpha prototype with the assistance of 4 other talented devs and artists, which include Bryce as the lead developer, Robbie, technical director for rigging, Yi, animator, and Lachlan, who is level designer and all things 3D generalist. So where to now? Well, I encourage you to follow myself and the team as we stumble, fumble, and eventually, hopefully, create something fun and unique to contribute to the world of gaming. If there's one thing a theatre performer knows, is that the show must go on, even if the script is written in C++. If you'd like to follow us on this journey, please hit the subscribe button, or alternatively, you can follow the social links in the description below, or go to bonesthegame.com for more information. Thank you for joining me, and if you have any thoughts, please let us know below. We'll be back with another devlog soon.